Hi, you guys. We are on lesson 4 of Soul Lessons and Soul Purpose with Sonia Choquette. Engage your feelings. That's the lesson of this chapter. You knew it was coming, right? We've already been doing that in meditation. And so the soul lesson is feeling is the fuel of creativity. It's important to engage those emotions. And the purpose is to follow your heart. Wanting something on an intellectual level is not enough for manifestation. We must also engage our feelings. And the thoughts are what help organize. You know, it's the organizing power of creative force, and then it's propelled by our emotions. And the emissaries of the third ray talk about desire as the most creative of all feelings. It's the fiery energy of your spirit, and it drives ideas into reality. So connecting with that desire and your big dream, whatever that is for you, is a gift from God to help give you some direction. So getting in touch with that wisdom of your heart is really key. And that's what we're going to be focusing on. Great yearning joins your mind and heart and pushes for your desires' fulfillment. So your whole system is working together in creation. And so it's important to get that functioning, right? Get the communication flowing there. I'm actually currently reading another book alongside this with this process called The New Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz. It's an updated version. This is the book, and it deals with working on self-image instead of like going outside and fixing the mirror. Working on how we see ourselves, and because if we're constantly, like for example, in musical theater school, my confidence didn't come from a really positive self-image. It came from comparison, right? From the place I came from. I just happened to be really good in comparison to other students and things in my area. And then when I went off to New York City to study, the comparison really quickly shifted. So as did my self-image, because it was based on comparison. And, it wasn't really helpful for teachers to coddle students and tell them, you're great, you're great. No, we were there to refine. So criticism was huge part of it, pointing out mistakes. How can you correct this? How can you repair this? And because I was still, grappling with this self-image, it cut deep, and those things, I took them in as something about myself as a performer, as opposed to constructive criticism I could use that didn't really shift my image of self. So this is huge, right? He also talks about the subconscious mind, Maxwell Maltz. This is an updated version, so it has more modern examples for us to work with. He talks about the subconscious mind as a goal-striving servo mechanism consisting of the brain and nervous system, and used and directed by the mind. So our consciousness directs it, right? Like say you consciously want to pick up a pencil. Well, you don't have to consciously think, let me tense this muscle, let me stretch my arm out, let me bend over. This is what the servo mechanism takes care of, the subconscious mind. And all we have to do is direct it. So this process is similar. Our consciousness is operating an automatic goal-striving machine, which is the subconscious. And when the outcome is known, like it's very clear, like I want to pick up this pencil and have it in my hand, it's much more efficient. The target or the goal is clear. That's when it works most efficiently, and it works with the nervous system to refine. And those things that don't threaten our ego, right, are much safer and easier to achieve because there's less personalization. There's less fear, there's less at stake. But when it affects our self-image, there's a lot more pressure, which is why working first with self-image might be key for you. I know it's key for me. That's what I'm working with right now. I feel like it's going to be really, really, really effective. So that's why I recommend that to you. But when the goal is unknown, right? We're kind of just drifting on through without really any set goal or target. It's just far less efficient. We're zigzagging, we're meandering, it takes a lot of time. You can imagine we aren't really clear. And I think some areas in life that's okay. I think in some areas of life that's how it is and that's how it should be. But if we really want to get on target with creation, getting really clear is going to be important for efficiency. And that's all I'll say about psychocybernetics. I highly recommend as a companion to this process, because it'll take the pressure, and the personalization out of it, right? And it'll help put the ego in its proper place too. So, connecting mind to heart is essential for creative force to be released. This is what we're working on here. You have 3 brains in your body, or 3 minds, right? In your brain, in your heart, and in your gut. There's neurons in all of those. They work together. We put so much weight here, but really, the electromagnetic field of the heart is 40 to 60 times the amplitude of that of the brain. The wisdom of the heart, and it's 5,000 times stronger as well. So it's just so important to connect to that wisdom. That's science based on heart math. The research of heart math, Heart Math Institute. Really interesting work. That's why we're going to get in touch with the wisdom of our heart later in meditation. The heart connects and communicates the brain, the gut, and the nervous system. Connects it all. Communicates messages between them, and creates this electromagnetic torus, right? Torus, T-O-R-U-S, this field, and it contains all of this information, the diversity of it, right? Not like this mush of it, but like the diversity therein, and we animate and we are alive in it, which is so mind-blowing, right? And miraculous and interesting to think about, as is just the fact that if you just break down picking up a pencil, how miraculous is that? All we have to do is direct. I don't have to think about each step of the way. I just direct, that's what I want to do, and it happens. How mind-blowing is that? How miraculous is that? It's an incredible system we're working with here. And so the emissaries suggest we reflect on the things in life that are bringing us satisfaction. And I identify the deep desire that brought these blessings to fruition. What was the deep desire that sparked that for you? So we can start seeing the connection. For me, an area of my life that brings me so much satisfaction and fulfillment is spiritual process, my spiritual path, my learning, inquiry. The learning process is so satiating for me. I'm pretty much addicted to information and learning and growing. It means a lot to me. And there's a theory that learners, healers, artists, storytellers, the innovators, inventors, and visionaries, the intuitives, that's one type of person, known as the learner or seeker. We value freedom over all else, and that implies choice. So that's what this process is really opening up to. It's expanding our field of vision, our awareness, so that we feel we have choice, the freedom to choose. It's very key. We also, this type of person, the other types are, the hunter provider or the caregiver. But this type of person needs much more dopamine, needs much more stimulation. And yet we have less dopamine receptors than the other types. So what happens is we often will be chasing stimulation, chasing the dopamine rush. This is addiction. When a better approach may be resensitizing ourselves in some way, right? Through meditation, through a gratitude practice, something that resensitizes us to the stimuli that's already here might be a better approach. And it might give us more resilience and choice. So that's another amazing thing about this process. It's really healing and helpful. It's a healthier choice for those learners out there, right? For us learners, artists, storytellers. In scarcity society, we don't have as much space for artists and learners and inventors and creators. So what happens is we conform, right? We go out and we hunt, we provide, or we assimilate as a caregiver, right? And it's unfulfilling. So we find other ways. And the idea is, let's not find that way through addictive behaviors and patterns. Let's resensitize ourselves to the stimuli that's already here through meditation or another way that helps you. And meditation will also help in self-awareness and expanding our awareness, which helps expand our field of vision so we have more choice, right? So we feel less stuck. And we feel more in touch with our creative potential and power. She gave the example of her clients that were scriptwriters that spoke right to my heart, right? The one scriptwriter just believed in her vision so much and was really had a lot of positive emotions directed towards it. And it helped fuel it and guide it and bring it into fruition. The other one was full of doubts. Again, working on self-image, right? Is this process about me proving that I'm a scriptwriter, or is this process about me bringing my big dream and joy into the world? I don't need, I already see myself this way. I don't need to prove to myself that I am this. So it's less personal of a process. I think that's important. That's definitely helpful for me because it makes us feel less rejection, right? It's not determining who I am. I can detach from that and just focus on my emotions fueling this manifestation. I hope that's landing because for me it makes total sense, but my brain does weird things. So I hope that speaks to you too. So the emissaries, I want to say Sonia is saying this, but she did channel this from the emissaries of the third ray, describes the mind as the car that gets us there. The feelings are the fuel, but the desire is what sparks the inventive impulse into action, okay? That's the foot on the gas, all right? So the crystal I want to recommend for this process is chrysoprase. This crystal deeply connects us to our compassion, the wisdom of our heart, to the truth of the heart, activates the heart and the solar plexus, right, and the communication therein. So you can reconcile your personal will with your heart's longing. This is what we're doing, right? And it may help you facilitate the growth required to break unhealthy patterns and provide hope when circumstances appear bleak, which often happen when we're manifesting something, right? And this can also bestow a sense of goodwill, bringing the best result for all involved. Okay, chrysoprase, love it. And the oil I recommend is geranium. Again, I use doTERRA. And I'm going to link an opportunity to find more information and even purchase these items in the description if you're interested. So geranium is an emotional healer. Okay, so when we access the wisdom of the heart and we start this heart opening process, which most of us already have started, but if this is new to you and you are just now beginning to work with the heart wisdom, when you begin to open, it may trigger the release of stagnant emotions that we have not addressed, the emotional pain that's contained therein. So that's why it can be really helpful to have something like geranium, this vibrational tool that will help you mend a broken heart, will help you reparent yourself, establish self-trust and trust in relationships in general. Self-trust is going to be so important here, right? You can imagine reparenting the inner child as well is going to be key. Gains us access to our emotions. That's what we're doing. And the nurturing energy of the heart center, right? It also encourages a softening and opening of the heart and allows for a state of receptivity. Okay? Receptivity. You know, we got to receive the blessings we're manifesting, don't we? So again, as I said, as I say every time, you can either work with an eye pillow for this process, right? A weighted eye pillow. When we're in meditation, this will help with the resensitization process, right? Because we're taking the stimuli of light away for a time, and then focusing on our breathing, right? So then when we remove the eye pillow, we are resensitized. So you can either use the drops of oil right on the eye pillow, or you can get a water ionizing diffuser as well to work with the oils. My favorite is the Lumo diffuser. Again, I'll link that in the description so you have more information around that. We won't talk about that here. So go ahead and put your oil, whatever one you're working with. This is a recommendation. I use geranium for this process. And that's just an idea. If you're using one oil, that's cool. That's going to anchor in everything anyway. Okay. So you can just use one oil for this entire process. So go ahead and put your oils on there. Chrysoprase, tune into where it wants to go on your body. You may want to hold it in the receptive hand, you know, the opposite of what you write with, and hold clear quartz, if you're programming a clear quartz for this process, in your dominant hand, or your right, if you're a lefty. So feel that out for yourself, again, using your intuition. That's what we're doing here. You may want to hold the crystals. You may want to put crystals on a chakra. Chrysoprase might want to go on your heart, might want to go on your solar plexus, right above your belly button. So feel it out, use your intuition. So either turn on your water ionizing diffuser or put the oil on your eye pillow. That's probably absorbed. So let's get ready for meditation. Go ahead and lie down, put your mat on the floor, recline in your chair, whatever it is. You're going to want to be laying down or reclined back if you're using your eye pillow. You may just want to sit with an aligned spine, whatever works for you. And go ahead and feel whatever's holding you up take all of your weight. Don't help it hold you up at all. Allow it to support you. And feel how perfectly supported you are. You may want to begin inhaling through your nose to perceive the oil you're working with, and exhale out your mouth so you don't blow it out, allowing it to get into your bloodstream. With each inhale, just noticing any areas of tension or areas you're pulling up. And with the exhale, allowing yourself to release that however you need, allowing it to melt away. absorb down into the earth. So that with each cycle of breath, more relaxation is stimulated. We're working with the affirmation. Feeling is the fuel of creativity, and I now follow my heart. And we're going to take that into every cell as we begin our breathing cycle. We're going to inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, and pause. And I'll lead you through it. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. And pause. Inhale through the nose. Hold. Exhale through the mouth. Pause. Inhale through the nose. Hold. Exhale through the mouth. Pause. Inhale through the nose. Hold. Exhale through the mouth. Pause. Inhale through the nose. Hold. Exhale through the mouth. Pause. One more time. Inhale through the nose. Hold. Exhale through the mouth. Pause. And go ahead and breathe normally. Whatever feels natural allows you to relax most deeply. You may want to continue inhaling through the nose and exhaling out the mouth, but whatever feels most natural and comfortable. We're now going to go through a brief process in accessing the wisdom of your heart. Imagine what it would feel like if your heart could breathe. You may feel it expand with each inhale. And release any emotional debris with each exhale. If you feel moved to do so, you may want to put your hand on your heart to deepen the connection and anchor it in. Feel your heart expand with each inhale and release any and all stress and tension with the exhale. As you inhale, you breathe in love, compassion, trust, fulfillment, and you feel them resonating in your heart center. And with each exhale, breathing out any regret, grudges, judgment, shame, and even worry that you've been carrying for far too long. So you're inhaling resourceful, heart-centered emotion and state, and exhaling anything that no longer serves you, whatever that may be for you. With each cycle of breath, you reach a deeper and deeper state of inner peace. Inhaling the affirmation into your heart. Feeling is the fuel of creativity, and I now follow my heart. Feeling it resonate in every cell. Feeling is the fuel of creativity, and I now follow my heart. Feeling is the fuel of creativity, and I now follow my heart. Where does that resonate? Can you feel that in your heart? Observe any color or quality or sensation that may bring up. In this state, you are more connected to the wisdom of your heart. Having released any emotional residue, the intents and longings of your heart are closer to the surface of your awareness. Allow your heart to reveal its deepest longing to you now. What is your heart's deepest longing? Allow it to reveal itself. See it in full color and detail. And now connect these images with your emotions. Give yourself the gift of fully going there. Feel your way through this. Feel it resonating within the entire electromagnetic field of your heart, your entire being. Feel how expansive that is. As you inhale the aroma of your essential oil, Allow it to anchor in this experience, empowering and amplifying your manifestation potential. Anchor these feelings in so that each time you smell this oil, you recall this experience. Stay in this resonance as long as you need. And along with this emotional experience, allow the aroma of your essential oil to also anchor in the affirmation. Feeling is the fuel of creativity, and I now follow my heart. And so it is.